than Ken Myers, author of All God's Children and Blue Suede Shoes, Christians and Popular Culture. Ken, it's great to have you on the program today.
Thank you, Michael.
How do you define popular culture?
Well, that's something that I've been trying to figure out since I wrote this book, how best to define it. And much of the literature on popular culture is an exercise in definition. I guess the thing that I've been more and more concerned about, or the thing that I've been more and more convinced distinguishes popular culture from other forms of culture, is, first of all, the fact that popular culture is not rooted in a specific community or a specific people. Popular culture, as we now know it, is not distinctive because it's popular. People are fond of pointing out that Shakespeare's plays were popular. But Shakespeare's plays were part of a cultural fabric that included an established church and included a number of other things. Popular culture, as we now know it, is basically mass culture. It's culture that is disseminated by mass media, and it is culture, for the most part, artifacts of which are produced not in order to sustain convictions or pass along values from one generation to another. Popular culture's artifacts are principally produced to make money, and to make money by entertaining or titillating. Now, there's nothing wrong with making money, and there's nothing wrong with entertaining. But it seems to me that historically, no culture has ever ordered its life around the values just of making money or just of entertaining without disaster. I think that that's where we are now. One way of summarizing it is that we're in a situation now, since popular culture is so dominant, it's a little bit like the kingdom being run by the court jester.
Is that which is popular always bad? You referred to Shakespeare, for instance.
Right.
A lot of people will say, well, you're just being an elitist. I mean, in the day of Martin Luther, the cantatas were popular, and in the days of Mozart's operas, it was the sort of movie theater of the day.
Sure. No, that which is popular is not necessarily bad. And in fact, in all the work that I've done, I've never suggested that. What I've suggested is that we decide whether or not something is good, not based on its popularity one way or another. I mean, one of the dominant assumptions of popular culture is that if it is popular, it is good. And I want to say, I don't care how many people like it. That is irrelevant to whether or not it is good. And then the other question is, good for what? I'll give you an example. There is music that I think is good music, but I don't think it's all-purpose music. There's some music that I listen to in the evenings. There's some music that I listen to in the mornings. There's some music I listen to when I want to just forget the troubles that I'm in the midst of. There's some music that I want to listen to when I want to be attentive and more contemplative. So in the course of a day, I might listen to 4 or 5 different styles of music, depending on what music serves a particular purpose best. And there is some music that sells products best. There's some music, and this is what the professional musicians call commercial music, and they don't mean just music heard on commercials, but they mean music that is, again, produced within a commercial context, which has a kind of easygoing, stupid quality about it. I don't know any other way to say it. A very kind of superficial, banal triteness that makes it perfect for a 30-second vignette urging me to either buy a candy bar or use somebody's long-distance service or whatever. I mean, one of the great examples is the little tune for Reach Out and Touch Someone, which is one of the most trite sorts of little tunes, but it does it's like a little virus. It kind of sticks in your head and stays there.
Almost as bad as a praise chorus.
Well, that's the thing. That praise choruses are basically, the problem with praise choruses is that they have most in common with the music coming out of Madison Avenue, not out of somebody's basement in Seattle or a recording studio in New York or L.A. or Nashville. The problem is that they really have more to do with the recording studios in Chicago, where they record all the commercials.